Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this week's Mental Monday. This week I want to talk about the one thing that I feel like you can change today and make huge strides in your mental health. And that is setting limits. Setting limits for what you promise, setting limits for the pressure you put on yourself, setting limits for what you think is possible or what you think is attainable. And by that, I mean don't set limits on those. While being realistic, allow yourself to dream. I think limits is an aspect of things that just influences our approach to something so much, and it can make a huge difference in being able to push through things. So setting limits on what you promise you'll do can be huge. Learning to say no when you need to is huge. And not instantly saying yes, taking a minute and thinking, do I actually have the capacity to take that on right now? Is that something I want to promise? And being really intentional about what you say yes to. And I think that's huge for mental health because you're taking care of yourself and you're then making progress in simplifying and in focusing yourself on what you're prioritizing. And it can be huge for self-care because you're not overworking and overwhelming yourself. And then setting limits on the expectations you put on yourself. That's huge. So much of the pressure we feel comes from within. While it may start with society, with comparisons on social media, it does come from within. It is self-talk. It is what we're telling ourselves we expect of ourselves. And that can be huge. Being able to set limits on that and be realistic and say that's not a fair expectation of anybody. So why am I putting it on myself? And kind of breaking through. Nobody else expects that of you either. They're looking at things possibly very differently than you think. And not setting limits on what you think is possible, not down talking what you think potentially could happen or what you see as your capability and what you can achieve is huge. Yes, there is reason to be realistic and to plan and goal set accordingly, but at the same time, you do need to allow yourself to dream. And while you're working on goals, it is not life-giving to say you're never going to attain perfection in that area, so why even try? Right? Like that stops you in your tracks. Completely. Why are you going to even start then if you don't think you can attain what you want to? And I've talked a million times before about why goal setting is huge, even if you don't have it end up looking the way you initially planned. But I think that's a huge step in allowing yourself to make progress. Progress is still progress, and that's still a win, even if you aren't there yet. And setting limits on things in your mind, saying, oh, I'll never be able to do that, or I can never do that, or I could never be consistent with that. But you haven't tried. And those are the things that I have always constantly been working on and that I think is huge in starting to make changes in your mental health. That I think is huge in trying to make progress in that area and get through those mental blocks that we get stuck with. It's so dependent on self-talk, so much of it. And if you can tackle that, there's a foundation to grow from there. And that's what I wanted to share today. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was encouraging. I hope that helped you. If it did, give this video a thumbs up and share it, and leave your thoughts and comments, any questions down in the comments below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure you are subscribed and have notifications on, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!